Bickley and Marana Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Jimmy Butler is no longer a pipe dream or a fantasy. His arrival in Phoenix now feels inevitable. It feels desperate. It feels like jumper cables for a joyless team in need of an alpha leader, and it feels hardcore disgusting and potentially very dangerous. Think of the moving pieces needed to get us here. Bradley Beal benched to grow his unhappiness, to make him want out. Butler wearing our colors on his shoes while playing hardball with the Heat, effectively bailing on his current team to pursue money elsewhere, and Matt Ishbia continuing to double and triple down on his pursuit of a checkbook championship, blowing through head coaches and bench players, and effectively fueling the chaos in Miami by offering Butler the riches he so badly craves, a contract extension that no one else in the NBA seems willing to give. Just the other day, Bill Simmons said many NBA execs are growing annoyed with Phoenix, and it's easy to see why. Our NBA team is looking to sub out their current Big Three for a better Big Three at a time when the entire business model is considered archaic and out of touch, especially when the Suns just traded their first-round pick in 2031, leaving nothing left to mortgage. So, Hail Mary or Hail Matty? Buckle up, Suns fans. Your answer is on its way. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
His first day on the job as Phoenix Suns owner in 2023 was going out and getting Kevin Durant. That's the first day, and he put multiple players in there. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, ton of first-round picks, swaps. He went all in on Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and you have to give the Suns and Matt Ishbia, the owner, this. They've gone all in to try to win and compete, but players clearly have a desire about playing with Kevin Durant, of playing in Phoenix, and this is a guy in Jimmy Butler who wants to be in Phoenix. Now, will a trade happen? We'll see, but there's clearly an all-in approach there with the Suns, but it's at some point they have to really see the standings and see where they fall in that between now and the trade deadline and make the best decision. Right now, they are all in on trying to win and compete, and that's trying to go get Jimmy Butler.
That's John Sharania from ESPN who broke the story yesterday about the Suns sending that 2031 first-round pick to Utah to get three other first-round picks, and now they're armed with triple the number of first-round picks that they have control of. They're movable. Does it give them more flexibility in pursuing a trade, possibly, potentially, probably, for Jimmy Butler? Going back to one point you brought up in the blast, referring back to Bill Simmons' comments, and he was very critical of the Suns. And we know Bill's got a lot of opinions on a lot of things with basketball, and he's entitled to those opinions. But when you said other NBA execs around the league are growing tiresome of the Suns, I wonder why that is. I don't know. I mean, there are teams that go for it. There are teams that are very patient. There are teams that do nothing in the NBA, and it's always been that way. But this pursuit of a championship is unlike anything I can really remember, because we've seen teams be hungry for a championship. They make a big whirlwind trade, and it works out for them, and that's it. It's in place. The whirlwind deals that the Suns have made have not worked out to the highest level, but that has not dissuaded them. And I just wonder again why. What I can't get past is a team owner being so hungry to win a championship, and it's viewed as a detriment or a bother to others. Well,
Probably jealousy is one.
Yeah, maybe.
The fact that he's been labeled with new owner syndrome is that. The fact that you've blown through these coaches, right, and nothing has really changed.
Maybe the fact that he's indulging these upset superstars by acquiring them and paying them.
As I said in the blast, that is probably point number one. That what's fueling Jimmy Butler's obstinance and his demand to go to Phoenix and nowhere else is the belief that he's going to get his money here. How does he know that? You don't think the rest of the NBA wants the answer to that question?
Something I've wondered about.
So I think, and again, I'm not judging this here, and I'm not qualifying my opinion either. But I am saying that what the Suns are doing is antithetical to what everyone in the current NBA believes is the route and the path forward. Now, the question becomes, and I get it, you bring in Kevin Durant in day one on the job, and you've got Devin Booker paired with him, and you know that these two guys were two of the top 6 players at the Olympics, that it shouldn't be that difficult to create a really good basketball team around them. And what's holding them back? Let me quote, do something I've done frequently in the last week and a half. Let me quote a passage from Kellen Olson, who is, once again, very, very sharp and right on the money with this. So he's making the point that, yes, of course you should do this, but what about the current state of the Suns makes you think that adding a Jimmy Butler is going to make this team into a contender? He writes, quote, "A team built around Kevin Durant and Devin Booker continues to not work. What should be an incredibly joyous product to watch, headlined by an iconic all-timer still near the height of his powers, and the best player in franchise history is instead migraine-inducing. After these awful vibes last year, the Suns changed head coaches, added point guards and young bodies, plus better depth, to no change this season." And then he points out the same problems that persist: the turnovers, the on-ball defense, engagement, defensive rebounding, organization, effort, cohesion. That's a lot of stuff. And I wouldn't argue with any of it, because what we see come off this basketball team on the floor would lead you to believe this team can't summon all the great stuff you need to do it consistently to get among the NBA's elite. So is it really a good bet that Jimmy Butler is going to turn this thing on its ear entirely? If you want to be optimistic, go back to what I say about the Olympics and how it works so great there for Book and KD. You give them the right alpha that they want. And listen, with all due respect, the Bradley Beal thing was a bad idea. I don't know what Bradley Beal's effect on this basketball team is internally. I don't think it's what Devin Booker once said. I don't think this guy's the heart and soul of the team.
No, and I mean, that was something that was rattling through my head earlier today, too, was those comments earlier this year when Bradley Beal went out, and Devin Booker was very supportive of Bradley Beal, and he did term him that. Mm-hmm. You know, was that an attempt to pull something out of Bradley Beal to make him the alpha? One thing that it doesn't matter what you think about how the Suns are conducting business right now. If you care about the Phoenix Suns, if you root for the Phoenix Suns to win basketball games and be a good product, we can all agree on one thing. The status quo is not acceptable.
Agreed.
Keeping this as is will only continue to induce migraines, to use Kellen's terminology. And so something different is, and there's two very divergent roads. Mm-hmm. Blow it up or continue to go down this road.
Listen,
we know what's more likely to happen.
Yeah, we do. And like I said in yesterday's blast, even with all my reservations, I still lean in that direction. I don't want any part of a rebuild.
Not yet.
The rebuild we went through in 17 and 18 and 19, it was
a decade,
It was garbage, just garbage. And so I don't want that. But I just don't know if Jimmy Butler is going to change and turn this team into what it needs to be, what we want it to be. But again, at the end of the day, I'm for it because I don't want the alternative. It's not the smartest, most intellectual way to come to an opinion, but it's just kind of what I feel. And as I said, what complicates the matters is I've just had great love for Jimmy Butler as a basketball player, and I can't believe the way this thing is going down.
It's been a strange ride this year. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.